What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ash Redux coming to you, not live, because we don't stream our podcast because we're too lazy to do so. I'm here, obviously, with the other half of Critical Zone, King Kiba, aka Kiba.exe, the only Mega Man to ever exist. I don't know what games you've been playing if you haven't seen him. And then we also have today's special guest, the man with the plan, the man who has been with me through time and time again on a game called Rumble Fighter, where he saved my butt, taught me the ways, made me who I am today. This man, give him all the credit. Neku, aka Neku Bellic.
You really don't have to like give me an introduction.
aka Neku Bellic.
I mean, and I think I've kicked your ass in Rumble Fighter more than I've like saved your ass.
Hey, that's how y'all taught me. Remember? That's how y'all taught me. Literally.
That's how you. Ways.
That's definitely how you learn. But like, nah, like I don't think I did much saving. I did more kicking than anything.
Hey, all I gotta say is, you know who's got the power.
Oh man, like. That shit gets brung up all the time.
I'm a legend.
You're a legend. Like people still talk about that shit. And you know who's got the power?
Ram!
Yeah, all the time.
But yeah, so Neku is a dear old friend, a gamer, and I've known him for a while. Never met him in person at all, but I might as well have.
I mean,
I'm gonna need you to come to Nasty Natty so I can see you.
Look, man, one of these days, maybe after this whole pandemic thing blows over,
I have Grippos for you.
Shit, now you're really trying to get me to come to Cincinnati. All right.
But all right,
Stars reaction.
But yeah, everybody. So we're back again. This is our second podcast of the week of the new year. What's up?
Yeah, by the way, just real quick, I know, we got a deal going on where you got to pay me back. Can I add some Grippos to that deal? Cause
wow, that's crazy.
When I was there,
that's crazy.
I'm just asking, but we can talk about that later.
No, that's cool. I can do that. I can do that.
Bad.
I might send you two boxes, low key.
Hey.
But you can't. Hey, but if I send you two boxes, you can't share a single chip with Lady T. Just all right. Obviously, you can't. He gonna be like, hey, Ash said I can't share. He said I can't share. She be like, how would he know? Hey, it ain't about if he know, I would know. That's all you gotta say. What about my morals? What about my character?
What about my conscience?
Yeah, you gotta uphold that principle.
Facts. But this is our second podcast of the new year, 2021.
What's the day?
January. I was getting that's why I started like that. I was trying to be good this time. It's January 10th, 2021. You know what I'm saying? It's a new year. Trump is banned on all social medias, including Twitch. We're not talking about
and
that.
Pornhub.
I'm sorry.
He's banned on Pornhub apparently.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ignoring that.
I'm just saying. My theory is.
Oh my god.
Okay. He's gonna bust down that Discord server eventually. Like the MAGA Discord server is coming.
I'm surprised it don't already exist.
If it has to
exist. He's just not an admin on it right now.
he finna be
soon.
But like I said, he is also banned on Twitch. We're not talking about that today.
Right. What are we talking about today?
But he is banned on Twitch. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, he has a Twitch account? Huh?
Right?
He did.
Huh?
I figured Obama would, but Trump.
But so like I said, it's a new year, and obviously since it's a new year and following and actually still in said pandemic, as previously stated, there's not going to be that much major gaming news going on. But I got some things to talk about, and there's actually a third thing that I was going to throw in real quick at the end because I thought that was pretty interesting when I read about it. Sorry I didn't give you guys the link, but it's not one that you had to read about. So the first thing I want to start out real quick was, what do you forecast for 2021? Like, so for example, when it comes to for people like us, the gamers, what do you expect to be for like console or PC hardware availability and pricing? Any upcoming titles that may have not even been announced, things that you just think for whatever reason, maybe you saw a leak somewhere, or you just saw things that might point to this coming up, or you just think it would be a great idea, some upcoming titles coming out, or anything that you're hoping to come out. What makes you feel like this might be a good year or a bad year for gaming? Who wants to start?
I'll start. Number one, this is gonna be a good
Trash
year because-
opinion. Start over.
All right, say less. This is gonna be a good year because because it's a this if you multiply
Oh
3
my
times
goodness.
7, what do you get? You get a 21. So because of that, this is gonna be a good year for gaming. We know that.
What does that have to do with?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. 7 is the magic number. 3 sevens. Boom, 21.
He has
Okay,
a point.
well,
Two sevens was 2077. Cyberpunk 2077. That didn't do so hot. So maybe he has a point. I don't know, Necky.
That third 7 is gonna top it off. It's gonna be the hitter.
He's like, all right, I give up.
I don't want to keep going on. Just get to your point.
But in all seriousness, I think it's still going to be good in gaming in general, because I mean, while we had some slowdowns, nothing has really stopped per se. I mean, there's probably some unknown games and some other games that have died because of it, but there's still good stuff going on. We got Zelda anniversary that's coming through. That's gonna be heat.
For me.
Yeah, that's
For everybody.
For me.
Probably Breath of the Wild too. We
Please.
can't.
Please.
Age of Calamity hit. Like that game was fucking fire.
See?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like Hyrule Warriors, it was all right, but fucking Age of Calamity, like they did it up. I don't know. I don't know if either of y'all played it, but man,
I haven't played it, but I want to.
Now that you said that,
the
right?
last podcast. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. The most OP characters in that damn game, Impa and Link with a great sword, bruh.
Great sword. Okay. Not even a master
like after everything is said and done, after we finish this, look up a YouTube video of Link from Age of Calamity with the great sword, and your jaw is gonna drop. He's doing some deep animation.
Deep.
I'll let you keep going.
But so there's that. What didn't we find out there was some other anniversary? What was it, Metroid or something?
It's the Zelda anniversary, the
Donkey
Pokemon
Kong.
anniversary, the Metroid
the
anniversary,
Pokemon
and
one
Donkey
was
Kong anniversary are all this
so
year.
we're probably getting another Pokemon, if not, some good DLC or whatever.
New Pokemon Snap, baby! Bring
new
it back,
Pokemon
baby!
Snap. So,
I'm excited.
I forgot about
God of War 2, or Ragnarok rather, that's coming. Spider-Man 2 is probably coming. So we gonna have some hitters. I don't see things going bad. Cyberpunk will actually work. So I mean, I don't see anything bad coming along through the pipeline here.
Now, real quick.
this
Now,
year.
you mentioned software. Hardware, though. What about for hardware?
Okay. You're right. My bad. You did say that. So hardware, I mean, what we got the GPUs for because I mean, I don't think Sony or Microsoft is gonna do a new system or update. Maybe
I slapped somebody. That's rude.
I mean, other than special editions for God of War and Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I doubt they're gonna come in.
They
with,
can't have a pro.
Right, a pro or a bigger space or any small short refresh, anything like that. I don't think that's coming.
But what about availability for those though? For the now current gen consoles,
I
what
was
do you
just
think?
about to get into that, dog. I got you.
We bouncing. Remember, we bouncing. That's what you said.
Oh yeah, put me in a trampoline bounce house with my socks on. I got you. But
I got you.
put on my Assassin's Creed socks, but I got them. They lit, real comfortable. But
which Assassin's Creed though?
Good question. Actually, I think it just says live by the creed. I can't remember the symbol. I think it's just the base symbol. So we'll have to say technically Altair. So number 1, because it's the base symbol.
Okay, I mean, hey,
But right. But anyway, so probably not another Assassin's Creed because they've been holding off. But you was talking about it ending, Ash. Or if you feel like it should, but I know we haven't finished Valhalla. There's Watch Dogs multiplayer that's probably coming. Probably some Cyberpunk
that was supposed to be coming.
eventually.
I forgot all about that.
Right? I haven't played that game at all.
Legion for Watch Dogs Legion.
It's not keeping my attention. The story is.
I'm sad. I was really sad about Legion because it looked interesting, but my prediction for Legion came through.
What was your prediction? Go ahead.
My prediction when it first came out, when I first started dropping, I was like, "Oh, that's a really dope mechanic they got going for it. That's all they're gonna have for the game. The fact that you can play as everybody. That's it."
And that takes away. Apparently, it's been taken away from the storytelling and stuff too. You don't really get connected to anybody because you just have everybody.
I don't readily agree with that statement, only because I have played it, and like, the storytelling is still the story. I think the story is still good from what I've played. Like, it's pretty intense. Like, you see people are like in slavery, you know, it's got some of the immigration stuff that we had going on in America. It still have. I don't know why I said had.
Did they have like an invasion on Capitol Hill in the game too?
Maybe. Were there
people out there being all like,
"Hold your fire! This man isn't black."
I mean, I haven't gotten there yet. The gameplay isn't all that exciting to keep me in the story, to be honest. I'm gonna just put it up there like that. But yes.
Oh, what I was gonna say is, like, I could see the story element thing, like it taking away the story because you're constantly jumping between characters. Basically, just saying you don't get the same amount of like connection to someone if you're constantly hopping between characters.
Because they made it a story, so no matter who you're playing as, that person will be fine. So the story doesn't feel like individualized to the quote unquote main character because there's so many main characters. But it doesn't mean it can't be well written. I know what you're saying too. I think that we're more used to like, this is our main character or our group of main characters, so the story works around them, not anybody.
And that's why I'm not like, and they have nice interactions, so it's like, it's really not that bad, but I can see like it taking away, like, it's not like everyone's saying, it's not as connected, but I don't think it's taking away that much, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
No, I haven't played the game, so I couldn't really give much insight, but I could definitely see. But I'm sad, but I get that, you know, that joy of being right, that the game is exactly right.
I feel like you would like Immortals Phoenix Rising, by the way, Nick. I just want to throw that out there.
But you know, multiplayer for Watch Dogs will probably be, you know, good.
Yeah, that might actually be pretty fun.
So my question for that is it going to be actual multiplayer and not that shit that they tried to pull for Watch Dogs 2?
Yes. I think
like the Assassin's Creed type multiplayer.
Like, you have to do particular missions together.
Yeah, I think it's open world.
Together. Like,
because the world is too small, in my opinion.
Oh wow!
Well, it's not too small, but it's smaller than. At least it just feels small. I don't know. Maybe because, you know, Odyssey, Origins, all their other games of, you know, Phoenix Rising is all big. So Watch Dogs kind of feel small.
I need to play Phoenix Rising.
Well, I was gonna say, you do. I was gonna say for the Watch Dogs Legion multiplayer, I don't, because like you said in Assassin's Creed Unity, where you had to do like certain multiplayer, but you could roam around the open world, but you couldn't like do story stuff together. I don't think you could do like the main story together, but they have more than just like the, you know, you hop into someone's game and do the whole hacking thing. They have a little bit more going on now. So
I think so.
There's open world co-op, so you can team up with up to 4 people, and they said that it would be fairly similar. But that's the thing, fairly similar to the single player campaign with added friends. That's why I didn't know what that meant, but it said that's what they said. And I figured, I mean, maybe that just means they improved the difficulty, because obviously if it's 4 of y'all and each of y'all have a perfectly suited recruit to infiltrate somewhere, that's too easy. So maybe they mean, you know, that they'll change things up. So maybe it is that. But they also have the player versus player, which is kind of like stuff from before, including the spider bots.
To be honest, that like, I will say, like, to Watch Dogs' benefit, that is probably one of their best elements, and I really wish they would dig more into like the PvP, because you guys know me. You guys, like, you've known me long enough to know, like, I'm not really big on the PvP games like that. Like, I can deal with them, but they're not my main draw. But Watch Dogs PvP, that shit's amazing. That shit's so cool. I love that shit. Just come into someone's world and just fuck with their stuff. Like,
I bet you do.
Straight GTA style. Yeah.
So they
straight GTA style. Yeah, I love it.
And they got that. They also, for PvP, they have the Spider Bot Arena now. So now up to 8 people can battle Spider Bots together. And then
Okay.
lastly,
have battle bots.
they
I
have
just might have to grab Legion despite everything.
and then wait, and also they have the tactical ops, which are they describe as being longer, more demanding challenges that require 4 players.
Hey, let's go.
So it's
I'm
things that are
going
closer to
raid,
like
basically.
yeah, it's basically like
Raids.
Raise or Heist, basically. And then don't forget also, I don't know which one of these that falls into, but remember what they showed with Aiden Pierce. And
My
I
man
said
said
Adrian, but remember the thing with Aiden Pierce, and they also saw that there's now Neku. I don't know if you saw this, but there is an actual assassin of the Creed in Watch
Yes.
Dogs Legion now.
I
It's a
knew
female.
that.
It's a female assassin. I'm gonna share the picture with you at least so you can see it.
No, is it? Oh,
Is it supposed to
shit.
be? Is it supposed to be Evie or?
Well, that would time wise at 10. I don't know if that would make like sense time wise, but yeah.
I didn't know if they were. I didn't know if they were going to even try to attempt making sense because again,
Not they
Just so
gave,
y'all
she had a
know, I
name.
haven't finished. Are we okay? I haven't finished Origins or Odyssey, so I'm scared to say anything. Y'all say something.
What do you mean? Say something. Her name is Darcy, by the way. I just got it here, but I'll.
I remember Darcy. Wasn't she talking to Layla at some point in time?
Sounds right. Go ahead, and look at that. Neku.
I feel like
That'll
she
be the
was talking
final
to
straw that
Lacey.
makes you want to get Legion, because I was like, yeah, she fire. I'm going in.
that's actually pretty sick. All right, I'm gonna have to grab Legion at some point. Just to check it out.
Anywho,
Yeah, if you go-
we were talking about hardware.
Yeah, hardware. I'm sorry.
So
Tangent.
probably no new consoles except the Switch, whatever the freak Nintendo decides to do with their lives. So there's that. We got our new GPUs and CPUs as always. God dang it. What else? What else would really be new as far as gaming? I mean, I guess there's still cloud gaming. We'll probably see something, maybe an update for Google Stadia.
I mean, we got Google Stadia, we got Amazon Luna now. We got.
yeah, that's the thing. Well, if anybody can do it, it's gonna be Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon's definitely gonna go for it. I guess.
Mhm.
I mean, I could jump in for my predictions
Yeah. Go ahead.
2021. As far as 2021 goes, I see it being decent. We have as you already stated about the Nintendo anniversaries and stuff, but we have like some decent things coming our way. There's a lot more ports coming over to Steam. I don't know if you guys have played, but like the Yakuza series they're moving all of those on the Steam now. So since Yakuza's taken off, that's all getting moved over to Steam. Persona 5 Strikers is going to be coming out this.
Yeah, boy.
We have some bangers coming early on. As far as hardware goes, I don't see any no new consoles. At most, a PS5 Pro, a Xbox One X, Series X, triple trilogy, whatever the hell they call it. Because Xbox naming conventions I'll never understand.
Boy.
But and availability, hopefully it'll get better, and it will actually be able, because I've been waiting to play Demon Souls since it came out, and I can't look at any content about it. A lot of YouTubers I keep talking about it. I have to unsub to them. That's been no bueno.
Guys, if you want to keep your sub, don't talk about new games.
Talk about new games, or you're gonna lose a sub. But what I'm looking forward to and hoping that I see, I don't care even if it says it's not coming out until 2023 or whatever, but God, I just want to see an announcement for Dragon's Dogma 2. I have been waiting. I have been waiting for so long. And there's been a leak apparently about it. The people from Capcom have said it, and
We'll have to look into that.
after DMC5 came out, that was one of the things on the table was Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma had a anime series that wasn't really that well received. A lot of people didn't like it, but I mean, damn it, the more people know about it. I want a second game, and I want to play with my friends.
I forgot how much you love Dragon's Dogma. I never got to play it.
I love that game. 100% recommend. Play it. Play the hell out of it. It is such a fun game. And maybe we'll get we'll get a glimpse at Elden Ring for the people that are looking for that next Dark Souls fix. Hopefully, we'll see, because nothing has been said. And hot take, Sakurai is gonna announce Cooking Mama for a new character in Smash.
Bring it.
Okay.
Yes.
With that.
Yo, actually,
Hot take.
I think Cooking Mom would be a great character. I feel like she'd become kind of like a villager from Animal Crossing, like the way her just pulling ingredients out.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Okay. I'll see y'all. Well,
Also, real
go
quick,
ahead.
I think maybe because even though Nintendo lied, maybe they'll do a 3DS, because they said it wasn't going anywhere, but we haven't seen it since we haven't seen any games for it,
They're saying they're
except
gonna do
like Animal Crossing.
like a new 3DS.
well, they already have a new 3DS. Technically, if you think about that, they already have a
Shut
new
up.
Nintendo
Yes,
3DS.
Shut up.
The
But
one that they slapped new on it. Yeah,
right. Yeah. But they said it wasn't going anywhere. But like I said, we haven't seen anything for it except for really Animal Crossing. Pokemon not even on it. So like,
As soon as Pokemon didn't come out on it, I'm like,
right?
hey.
That's the depth of the 3DS. Like, it's over. But so they're, because they might not want to be liars. Maybe there will be one. Don't see it, but it's Nintendo. They do weird shit. So,
or maybe someone like us are gonna ask about the new 3DS, and they're like, "Yeah, you already have one. I don't know what you're talking about."
We already released a new 3DS.
We already released it.
Fair.
you're not paying attention? Did you miss it?
That'd be hilarious if that's how they meant. All right, okay, I hear y'all. So y'all both think it'd be like at least decent to good, somewhere to, like, it won't be a bad year. It'll be a nice year. Software wise, you feel like people will be pretty good. Hardware wise, it'll be decent, no issues there.
Yeah, everything should be in the store. Hopefully, at least by summertime.
Yeah, I did have another guesstimation. Bethy is going to drop something for
What?
Bethesda.
Bethesda. I figured it out.
Yeah, they're more than likely going to drop something about
Is it?
Elder Scrolls, because all I see of Elder Scrolls now is ZeniMax. It's ESO, which is cool, but I still can't for the life of me get into that game. I've tried so many times.
Yeah.
I only tried once.
I really
I tried
can't.
twice.
But I've tried like 5 times. So like,
Remember, Neko, I was literally like, I just needed Skyrim with multiplayer. I didn't need you to do what you did with this. Literally just let more people join what I'm doing right here.
Which I'm pretty sure there's already a mod for, so just copy that, paste that, and we're good to go.
well, technically that's what 76 was, but we'll see how well that went. We don't talk about 76, but yeah, I think Bethy's gonna drop something about
That's fair. Sorry, I was talking to my lady.
oh no, you're good. Well, yeah, I think Bethesda's gonna drop something about Elder Scrolls 6, maybe.
Okay.
Probably sometime in the middle of the year.
Mm.
But I think that's all. That's pretty much all.
Real quick question to you, Ash. I think you got like 16 names. I gotta remember. But what do you think? You think that we gonna see some TIs and not the rapper
I don't know. I don't know.
for the GPUs?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, that's fair. It's fair answer. It's fair answer. Can't be mad at me.
I'll tell you why I really don't know after I go over my stuff in a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump in now, actually.
All right, I'm gonna jump in right now. So 2021, it's gonna be
Double
trash.
Oh,
Booty butt cheeks,
I mean, that's pretty good, though.
straight, just all over the place. Just
Okay. Depending on what you're saying, that could be good or bad.
Yeah.
Are we doing Morse code now?
Yeah.
What did you say?
that was Morse code.
I don't know Morse code.
Big facts. So
Somebody translate.
but software wise, like what we've already been saying, software wise, I feel like it's going to be a decent year. I'm sure something's going to get pushed back, but not all of it. So
Fair.
there's going to be enough, is what I feel like. There's going to be enough to play in 2021.
I just remember maybe Prince of Persia remake.
Yeah, that too.
Ooh,
Ooh, that'd be nice.
I mean, granted, it was looking horrible when they first showed it, but they already said they were gonna fix it. So
Well, hopefully, as long as it's not like that shit that they dropped with the last Prince of Persia game that they dropped like 2006. That was absolutely
No, hold on.
Was it 2006?
No, it was much. No, because there was a 2014 version that wasn't the same, but it wasn't bad. But it was like, but this isn't the same. There was another after that was like, really? I think he had like frost powers and some other stuff, and I was just like, what is this?
I don't know. I played the OG Sans of time, and that was it.
Anyway, go ahead and say what you gotta say. Before. I gotta give your cousin back her her Warrior Within. I think it is.
Oh, the what?
Yeah, I have her Wii Prince of Persia Warrior Within the game.
All right,
I told her I was gonna get that back.
And then you left the whole city.
Yeah, right. I mean, I can still give it back, but I got it.
Software wise, I think no matter what, we're gonna have a decent time. Hardware wise,
hardy
booty butt cheeks, trash, doo doo butter melting down on your toast for breakfast.
Oh, not on my toast.
On your toast and in your grits.
Gross.
I'm gonna nah, you ain't eating them now. I mean, you can. I'm gonna judge you. I ain't gonna lie, but you can. You can if you want to. But console availability, that I do think will get better, but I honestly don't think that's actually going to get to normalization until like almost middle of the year. But that's fine.
Well, that's what
people can get it. But PC hardware, that's what I'm here to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Even if it becomes available, let me tell y'all what I found out. Let me talk to y'all real quick.
Show me the clues, Scooby Doo.
Okay. I'll show you this. So, Asus announced that MSRP changes will be may start reflecting into the components. They said increase in cost for components, operating costs, and logistical activities, plus a continuation of import tariffs. So I'm like, what import tariffs are we talking about? That's honestly what they're mostly saying.
Did they say import terrorists or import
tariffs? Tariffs.
Okay,
tariffs.
I thought he was saying terrorists.
Y'all racist. Racism.
No.
Racism. Okay.
You just need to enunciate.
I'm gonna put that on that. I'm gonna put that as one of the hashtags in the podcast too. Hashtag racism, and be like, yeah, look at these racists. But so apparently, in 2018. There was an imposed tariff on billions of dollars of Chinese goods, leading many companies to ask for and receive temporary waivers to those import tariffs. Tariffs are not a tax collected from the exporting country or its manufacturers. It is paid by citizens and businesses of the country imposing them. Meaning, if we're imposing tariffs, that means we are paying those tariffs. Correct. So, the waivers expired midnight, December 31st. Reinstating tariffs that range from 7.5% all the way to 25% tariffs. So imagine paying a 25% markup on the actual MSRP of PC hardware components. You think they about to give it to us for the normal price? No, not for 25% up. That would make a something that's in that range anyway. Go from I think a 6800 is like $579.99. That would make it like $839.99, and that's actually on Newegg right now. It's all on Asus's own or on Asus their storefront, or on Newegg right now. A 6800 MSRP, even though it's technically $579, only goes for $839.99 due to tariffs.
Jesus.
So beforehand, this things like this happen due to data mining and stuff, and there was just nothing on the market, so the prices went up like that. Now it's from tariffs. So we have already lack of stock still right now, and tariffs.
Right.
What that mean for prices of PC hardware? It can only go up. So until
that
these
doesn't make it less available. That just makes it more pricey.
Hey, right now it's less available.
It's less accessible, not less available.
Right now it's still less available, and it probably still won't be until mid-year too. But then by then it'll be less accessible. So it goes from being not available to being unaccessible. So it's like good.
So you You think that's why they made the 3060s and the 3070s comparable to 2080s? They was like, yeah, we're not gonna sell these, so we're gonna make some small tier ones that don't cost as much. So when that price rise, we can sell it for as much as we were going to sell it initially, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Big evil thoughts, big business plots, man.
So
That's some real corpo shit, dude.
here's the thing: tariffs can suck. They make sense sometimes for longevity of the for the country, because the country imposes it, not businesses.
Fair.
Business
Who
sucks for business.
imposed it? It was U.S. that imposed it. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's why we pay
Okay.
it. Well, why businesses pay it, which then makes us have to pay it.
Right,
Usually, unless businesses don't. But if depending on how high that tariff is, that's a lot of money. So it makes sense that they would make us pay it back too.
Yep.
But what was I saying? Yeah, so we impose a tariff and everything, and like I said, sometimes that makes sense for a country because usually that tries to keep a lot more business in the country. But that's why waivers are accessible. That's why you can waive it like, hey, we don't make these here, so I got to go out of the country to get it. Okay, here's a waiver. It makes sense, right?
So was this kind of like the counter to outsourcing in general?
Basically, yeah, it was something
which is something that I get.
Yeah, so it's not tariffs aren't necessarily a bad thing before anybody listening gets upset about it, and that's why waivers are accessible. Just that the waivers expired on December 31st, and since our leader was a little upset during the December 31st time period and wasn't really worried about that anymore.
Or anything for that matter. Other than storming Capitol Hill.
So, because otherwise
he was too busy orchestrating the raid in Discord. I'm telling you.
Right.
So, regardless of not going into all the political stuff, but at least for that portion of the Trump administration, the tariffs enacted didn't necessarily make them a bad thing. They were trying to keep business in the states, to keep circulation in the states for economy in the states. That part makes sense. It's normal. It's fine. Whatever. And they gave waivers accordingly. All of that was fine.
He's in Discord as Mert. As Mert.
But as like I said,
murder, what's good?
as of December 31st, when those waivers expired, now we have that issue. And I don't know, like, I don't know. I did a research for that part, but I didn't go into like how it goes into like restarting waivers. Like, how do they get new waivers and stuff like that? Because I feel like
I know Ash Redux is the researching king. So if you need
Neku can account for that too, ain't that right, Neku? We want, I'll be like, hey guys, here's a new game we're playing.
He looked into something. Just know it was well looked into.
Okay, so you're like you say like I'm good at I'm not good at research. I'm good at finding shit. So if you're like, oh hey, I'm looking for this video about this thing. What happened in it? Oh, okay, was this the video you were looking for? Like,
yeah, that's it.
Is this your card?
My powers of Google Fu are good. Research and shit. Hey.
He said, "I'm a 10-time black belt."
Goddamn right I am. But nah, I can't.
10th degree.
Right. I said 10 time. I'm like, hold up.
So you're
But,
thinking about
Yeah.
Dragon Ball or something,
Right. So that I mostly wanted to just throw that in there for the PC hardware. It might not be too hot for a while, so
would
who
also
knows?
affect the console sales.
Technically, yeah, because those,
even though they use customs, it still requires you probably some Chinese work.
Well, that is the question, right? Because it's like,
right?
Do they? I'm assuming they ask for that like hardware, because that really only applies to Microsoft, because Sony isn't in like their headquarters is in America. They're importing the whole console, which I'm sure
why we're having trouble getting it here, anyways.
Right.
I think.
And
so why we don't hear about Xbox having as much trouble. I mean,
apparently they still not be having stock, but I don't hear about it. Nobody talk about it that much.
Or maybe people just don't want the Xbox.
Neku.
Well, you can't throw shade on me. I don't want that fucking thing.
Even until Fable come out.
I mean,
Facts.
look, man. Yeah, I'm gonna buy an Xbox because the one RPG that they have is exclusive to Xbox. Yes.
I mean, you know,
Actually, it should be on
wait,
PC
no, I
Game
was about
Pass,
to-
so
I
we
was
should
about to
be all
say-
right.
I was
I
about
mean,
to say Mass
if it's
Effect,
like-
and then I thought about it.
If it's on PC, then I will get.
Yeah,
then
well,
I'll definitely just not. I don't have to get an Xbox.
So
Then
that's all I wanted to cover for that 2021 outlook. But since we're on the topic of Xbox right now,
Okay.
we're gonna segue to the next topic real quick.
So okay, that's nice.
And Neku, I don't know how much
saying
you.
it's a segue is not a good segue. We need to work on this. Come on.
let the man talk. Keep it. Let him talk.
I'm sick of this. I am sick of it around here. Say one more word about my segues.
So
You need to learn from Linus.
that's fair. So I was saying, Neku, I don't know how much you know about all the dev studios that Microsoft has been acquiring over like the past year or whatever.
They like Disney in this beat.
Yeah, they over.
I know Microsoft. They bought like over the years. They bought like Mojang, Rare, and a couple of other ones that I can think of.
Yeah, they got a decent amount now. Technically, Bethesda.
Buy Microsoft stock.
Bethesda
You like
is.
that?
I mean, honestly, they got Bethesda.
They got Bethesda?
Yeah,
Wasn't that recently?
yeah,
I feel like I've heard that recently.
yeah. They got Bethesda. They got Arcane. Dishonored, Prey, and Deathloop, which is coming out.
Mhm.
So that's
for that.
I am
game
too.
looks like
I am
fun.
too.
Yeah.
They got id. They got
Oh yeah, like ID, like
yeah.
independent.
It's software. Okay.
They got Machine Games, so Wolfenstein, Ninja Theory, so Hellblade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they out here. They got Forza, both Motorsport and Horizon, because those are two different studios, but they got both. So yeah, they out here is the point. They out here buying stuff.
Mhm.
So my second topic was with all these studios that they're getting to actually like kind of compete when it comes to having exclusives on their platform. So even though they're like, hey, you got PC Game Pass, you can pay it on PC. People are still like, PC Game Pass as a service itself is really good, but
It's amazing.
what on there do I really need to play that I still can't play anywhere else? So there's still a need to have some sort of
Some
exclusive
exclusive
to
exclusivity.
increase. Especially as Halo Infinite got delayed again. Anyway,
That look trash too.
So I do have like some shit to say about this,
Okay,
especially
okay.
about Xbox,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I mentioned Rare.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They bought them. Microsoft's had Rare for like ever, like has had it since they've had Rare since around the time they had the 360.
Huh.
Because I don't know if you remember.
I remember Rare Replay. Yeah.
Yeah, Rare Replay and shit like that. But like, I really hope that this isn't Microsoft being like, oh yeah, we're just gonna buy all this stuff and then just never really do anything with it like they did Rare. Like, they dropped one Banjo and Kazooie game, nuts and bolts, and that shit tanked. It was
It's
trash.
garbage.
And it was like, they teased at Conquer at another Conquer game, and that shit
Oh,
never really
really?
came. Like, I think it was the Rare Replay where Conquer popped up, and everyone was like raving about it, and they never did anything with it. And the last like new IP for Rare that they dropped was fucking Cameo. If any of you guys remember that game.
I actually don't.
Definitely
It
do
came,
not.
it came out when the 360 was like fresh. It was like a
Definitely
little.
don't, damn.
It was a little cartoony game. I had it. I remembered it because it was actually a really fun game. But you played as like this pixie chick that could like turn into different monsters and stuff. It was like your run of the mill action adventure collectathon type game.
Okay, rare.
So,
Rare stuff.
yeah, like there's been nothing else like that. I mean, obviously the companies that you mentioned, like Bethesda, like they're definitely going to drop something. Hopefully Arcane comes back with something.
But that was the other thing, like with all the stuff that they are capturing, I think we determined, at least with the most recent stuff, that like
They weren't going to make it exclusive. Like I'm pretty sure they said like Bethesda games were not going to be exclusive to Microsoft.
Not just that, but
Even though they should,
also,
I would.
they technically should for their own benefit, but you know, they seem to be going along the route of everyone play together, which is not bad for the game industry in general. So
To be
I'm
honest,
not mad at it.
I am down.
Me
for
as
that.
a consumer is totally down for this, but
As a
you know,
consumer, that I'm fine with that. I think a lot of the like just to still on the same topic, but a lot of the shit about like exclusivity and why should I buy this console over this one? It's all a matter of preference.
yeah,
Like 100%. Like I personally don't like Xbox. It's not my favorite console, but like I wouldn't stub my nose up at it if someone was like, "Oh, hey, I got a free Xbox Series X. Do you want
Shoot.
it?" Shit, yeah.
Put it right here. I don't know what I'm gonna play on it, but I'll have
probably
it.
sell it, to be honest.
I mean, you know, yeah.
If I have a PlayStation, you know,
Yeah, no, I would definitely, you know, sell it and buy an actual console like a PS5.
An actual console. And I needed to add the air horns on here. Dang it.
But I like, yeah, I do think it is just a matter of preference and exclusivity. It is good on a business standpoint because it makes people want to buy your product, but it hurts the community because it's like, oh well, shit. I like this game, but I also like this game, so I have to choose between. I have to either choose between these two products, or I have to buy both and only use this product for this game.
And if we've learned anything with the days of social media, community is the most important thing.
Yep.
They determine whether or not you get a remake, a
sequel.
They determine if you get canceled or not. So like, community is very important.
Don't get canceled.
Definitely don't get canceled. They'll end up like the guy that made Paranautical Activity.
Oh, he got canceled. We gonna talk about that sometime other time. But anyway, don't what is it? Scalebound. Don't get canceled like Scalebound.
Not Scalebound.
Sad times. Pour one out for the bros.
Pour one out. Now I gotta look up Scalebound, see if there's been any like secret news about it. Let me do that. I'm gonna look.
I'm hyped for Harry Potter, by the way.
Yes, I am.
But,
yes, I am.
But back to what we were on point. Microsoft, Xbox, exclusivity, not exclusivity.
Yeah.
What we on?
That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about.
Okay.
Like, do you think they about to do anything with who was talking? Was I talking? Who was like Neku was talking? Neku, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was saying I think they're gonna do something with it. Like they would like really have to. But I honestly I think if anything they would pull the Epic Game shit, where it's a limited exclusive.
Okay.
Like they did for Outer Worlds, which again it really hurts games. Like Outer Worlds is a definite factor of that. Like Outer Worlds just dropped on Steam earlier and like no one's talked about it. Like it just slid under the radar. But if it had released everywhere, I feel like it would have gotten more love because it's a good game.
It's that exposure.
It's the
exposure.
Yeah.
When you put yourself out there on more places, you're more bound. You have a higher chance of being found, and then if you have good quality, everybody wants to play.
Yeah, but I do think Microsoft is going to do something, especially with big companies like Bethesda, Arcane, id Software. Like those are some big name ones. So it would be imperative for them to make some
a game.
have some shit for their console other than the newest FPS. So
the newest FPS.
And I'm sorry, that's my view on Xbox. That's typically what it is. It's just the shooty game.
Gears of War?
It is. It's the shooty game.
He meant like Call of Duty and Aldo too.
Because that's not even exclusive. That's why I didn't bring.
No, but people like Xbox controllers for shooters a lot of times.
For shooters, yeah. The excuse is that the triggers make you shoot better because it's bigger for some. I don't fucking know. Don't make any sense to me. It's just a button, but hey.
Hey,
I'm just a Sony pony.
the
So.
the DualSense controller is looking a little Xboxy for a little reason. More than apparently, the Xbox controller is like the most popular out of controllers, and that's why a lot of they're starting to be copied a little bit more.
They're just so bulky to me, but yeah, that's just my personal thing. I'll let one of you Xbox boys go. Go ahead.
Xbox boys, wait a minute.
Technically, you were an Xbox boy.
So was Neku.
I mean, yeah, I was an Xbox boy, but that's before I knew.
Yeah. The 360 had games.
Before
All right.
I knew about
Most definitely.
the power of Nippon steel.
Not Nippon. The fact he actually said
about
Nippon.
my Japanese brethren right now. I will strike you down. Oh, I had 360 did have a lot of great games, so I
And I
can't.
had a 360 first. So.
Yeah, I same. I did, and I played the shit out of Saints Row.
PS3.
I played the shit out of Saints Row on it. So.
All right, next. Before I go to Saints Row talking, go.
Yeah, go.
So we're talking about Microsoft and just what they're doing. I mean, we pretty much covered it all, in my opinion. Like, they got to do something. They're probably going to do something. They're probably not going to make anything like super exclusive, other than the things that have already been exclusive before. You know, I mean, even Kingdom Hearts went about saying, hey, we're not going to be exclusive anymore, even though, you know, they have their own rabid fan base. So it was very weird to see it on Xbox, especially without the other games in the series. Yeah, it was really weird, Jorno. Like, I really don't get it. Yeah, it's crazy. But
I don't like. I can talk about Kingdom Hearts for hours, so I'm not gonna go there right now. That's look. If you like Kingdom Hearts, you know what's up. If you don't, then you don't. So
exactly.
I think there's no need to talk about it.
But yes, but the point was, you know, even Kingdom Hearts spread their wings and flew a little bit. So you know, Microsoft has learned their lesson, I guess, and has decided to do that. So I mean, things are looking up, I guess. You know, their stock is probably doing well because of all the stuff they bought. So they probably got a little bit extra money. They could probably do something with it. Hopefully, if Bethesda releases, you know, what is it? I was about to say Dark Souls because I'm crazy. You know, Elder Scrolls, then, you know, as long as it's as buggy as Cyberpunk, we'll be okay, you know?
Well,
It more than likely will be.
it's Bethesda, so I expect that from them.
It just works.
It just
It just works.
sounds like almost like a little Nike
Like a little
saying,
commercial
like,
for something. It
do
just
it
works.
right. It just works.
And that's it.
Brick
Brick is fun.
That's it. But yeah, I mean, like, they have the cheapest console, so you know. Oh well, besides Nintendo, so you know they got that going for them. And shit, even Nintendo learned this lesson. It was like, yo, we gotta diversify our bonds, nigga, because this ain't working with only exclusives, with only our games on our consoles.
Yeah. Like, as much as I love Nintendo games, they do need a little bit more. They also need to have more sales, because I'm sorry, there's no fucking reason that Mario Odyssey should still be $60.
Boy, that's a whole different problem. Like, yo,
yeah,
that's
Here's
ridiculous.
the
That
problem.
5 years later, a game is still the same amount.
Nintendo is Apple, sadly, when it comes to the game. They're Apple, very protective of their IP, their branding, and feels like their stuff never loses value. So,
I mean, I guess
not saying that
but
not saying that you know, like the Legends of the game when it came out, even like, you know, like Breath of the Wild, when did that come out? 2016 now, 2017, somewhere in there.
I think it's 2016 now.
Yeah,
But it might have been 17.
So somewhere in there, right? That game is still just as good as it was when they first released it. In fact, there's more content now. You know, if you get
you gotta buy that DLC.
Yes,
though.
you
That's
do.
Extra money.
I know,
so-
but no, just let me say what I'm saying. So the point
I
is,
hear you.
the game is still just as good. It's not like it's you know, it's been so long. Oh, this game looks outdated or feels like, nope, still same game, still a fun time. But It ain't $60 no more. Make it like
No.
45 at least.
45 at least.
At
Because I'm
least.
like, there are when you're saying that, I'm like, there's a couple of games that you can still say that for. Like, not even just a couple. There's a decent amount of games,
There's
especially
old games
currently.
that you can say that
old
for.
games for sure, but like games that are just 5 years old. Like the Witcher should technically still be $60, but it ain't. Because that shit is fire.
Yeah, The Witcher is fire. Games like Jump Force, which is still $60 fucking dollars.
With the
That's the worst part.
Right now.
The games that aren't that
the
good that
fuck?
are still 60, then you're like, I'm sorry? I'm sorry?
Excuse the fuck out of me. You have the audacity to charge me this money.
Because don't get me wrong, I still actually want
Like,
to play Jump Force. I would definitely not pay $60 for it though.
If it's $60, give me all the DLC characters right now.
Oh no, because if you want that fucking Ultimate Edition, that shit's $99.99.
See, at least Ubisoft. Look, people need to be more like Ubisoft. Ubisoft, no, within a year, after 1 year's gone by, game prices go down. Sometimes quicker. You're right,
bro. Every time, like since freaking, I don't know, Assassin's Creed 2, they've been coming out since like October, September, October, and November, but usually October, November. That Christmas break, that shit half.
Well, that's Christmas though. I'm not even without holidays. They still drop super fast.
Hold on, I was getting there. Nintendo don't even do half on Christmas, dog. They do like $15 off.
Yeah, like,
You're right. They only do 15.
But I'm saying, like, Ubisoft, that's a whole month later. They like, half. Here you go. It's like, you want to play it? Here it is. Because they know they're going to make that money back with the sales and everybody spending, holiday money. But then, like, they go back full price. And then, boom, January hit. It's 45 or half again. It's like, the game only 4 months old.
Right.
You sure about this? And they're like, yeah, we about it. And people buy it. So
look at this. MSRP for Unity is $30. It's $6 right now on the Ubisoft store.
That's a good. My mom asked me recently. She was asking me about the Assassin's Creed series. I know this is off topic, y'all. I'm sorry, but she's asking me about the Assassin's Creed series and like, who's my favorite characters, and I'm like Ezio, Bayek, and maybe Adewale. And then of course the fine Templar from Unity, but we're not gonna talk
Every
about her.
time you just keep bringing her up. You just never forget this
her
woman.
name no more, but she was gorgeous. But anyway,
Okay.
and then she asked which games were the favorite, and I'm like Ezio series technically, but Unity, I feel like had the best old style gameplay. When I say old style, not the RPG style that's going on with Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla.
But you mean like how like
This-
1 and 2 kind of played?
Yeah.
Where you
That's
pretty much just pressed
You counter.
B to win. Yeah.
It was a little bit more slicey in Unity,
Yeah,
but
but
because they were going towards that.
Yeah, by Assassin's Creed 3, they start letting more than one person attack you at one time. You can do double counters. So they started.
That was just technology,
Okay, well, I will say, like, as far as the Assassin's Creed series goes, Syndicate is my favorite because they
I like that game.
I love Syndicate because
It's my least favorite.
They kill it with the whole
Yeah.
that M rating is there because
Yeah.
they fuck people up.
They do, and that was the one thing that I enjoyed about that game. But other than that, it was kind of a miss.
I really didn't like pick up on anything else. I just like kicking the shit out of people. And
Fair enough.
that was, beating people up was pretty fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't not really, kids. Don't do that shit. Like keep that to the video. Stick to the video games. Don't go on the street and like attack people.
Thank you.
They hit back.
They do hit back. Some people,
And-
not everybody hit back.
And some people are.
Just put the fear in them. They hit back.
Okay.
You don't need to know who does and who doesn't.
But yeah, back on topic though.
Microsoft. Yeah.
Who talking?
I think
You now.
Yeah, you now.
I'm done.
Oh, yeah, me talking. What? Me talk? All right, I'm sorry, I was with the beat. Yeah, when it comes to like when I look at some of the like current projects that they have going on, so we got like see, we got that Deathloop, we got the Halo Infinite, and I believe Deathloop actually is in development for PS5 as well, so that one wouldn't be an exclusive. Halo, so far, really the only one I know to actually be a Halo exclusive. I mean, wow, same difference. A Halo is exclusive is the same thing as saying Xbox exclusive. That's the only one I really know to be an exclusive right now. I don't think Hellblade is gonna be. What are they making another Gears?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
There you go. I mean, Forza. I'm pretty sure Forza's always been a Xbox thing. There's a State of Decay 3. Did that come out already? I don't remember.
Hey, there's another State of Decay. I haven't even played through 2 yet. I actually like those games.
Well, State of Decay 3. Let me see. No release date, so it's not out yet. So State of Decay 3, that'll probably be only on Xbox more than likely. And then Grounded, I know that was exclusive, but technically that's still in early access.
Yeah.
Fable is the only one that matters to me.
Yeah, I agree. I
to
agree
me.
100%.
So I don't know. It's like even with the they got a lot of good studio. Like they haven't gotten like just any old studio. They've gotten a lot of like really good studios with some decent work on their back. And like, oh yeah, these are not the IPs that they own, and they can either like have those IPs be exclusives, or they can have those studios with Microsoft's money. They can give them money to then work on other games other than the IPs they already know, and just trust that. Well, if they can make this game good, as long as they stay, because some company developers, when they switch to a different genre, they don't do too hot of a job if they never made a game like that before. Not saying they all do, but it's harder.
Literally Psionics. They used to just do car physics, and then they made Rocket League and was like, we don't know how to keep this going. We've never been this big.
So they could give them money to potentially work on other new IPs altogether that would be Xbox exclusives, and just have their names behind it, and people can already get an idea like, oh, it would be like I don't know, if they start a new racing game title and they let the people who behind Forza Motorsport who's that, Turn 10, let them work on it and make a whole new IP that's only on Xbox or something. You know what I'm saying? Like they for all I know, these people could stop working on whatever games that they normally would make. Like they finish their current projects, and then at that point they make new IPs exclusive to Microsoft. I can see them doing that. That actually wouldn't be too bad of a move in my opinion, as long as the titles like you can't do that to something like Bethesda with Skyrim. You can't be like, all right, make Elder Scrolls 6 and then make no more Elder Scrolls. No, that won't work. It won't work. It just won't work. You can try, it won't work. And now that they got freaking Playground Games who did Forza Horizon, that's what they're known for, and they're the ones working on Fable. You know what I'm saying? That's a little.
Oh yeah, that is weird, huh?
So that's why I'm like, I don't.
Talked about that.
I don't know. What is that like? What we're looking towards?
What happened to the original?
Well, that's gone.
I think.
Yeah. I think the original company that made Fable is like gone.
Yeah, and the original creator behind it, apparently he was a dick anyway.
Okay, well.
Hold on, what was the? Let me find it real quick. Here we go. So Fable, I want to bring this up real quick. Lionhead Studios, yep. And then Peter I can't say his last name. I'm American and uncultured.
There you go.
So him, and then I'm trying to remember who was actual creator though behind Fable, because Lionhead had other good titles too, like the Black and White game, which I really actually want to go back and play. I don't know. Do you guys know what Black and White is?
That's that God game, ain't it?
Yeah, it is.
That one's pretty interesting.
It's a God game. It's a God game. You play as a god. You can do basically anything.
You ever play like shit like Dust?
Okay.
Like from Dust or something.
Where you ever play Minecraft?
You're not a god. People can actually hurt you in that game.
I mean, not if you know.
And Dust, that was one. That is a god game. Granted, that was more like an environmental sandbox type thing. While like Black and White's more like a here's a town, here's your people. and you got to make them love you or hate you, because you could just summon this giant monster and terrorize them real quick if you want, or you can.
Was it? Were you taking a big blue box?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because they had a second one. But so that's him for that. But I'm trying real quick. Let me just see Fable.
Is this how you sleep?
Yes. All right. So originally Fable, the game's music, opening the games release was due in part to music hype. Yeah. Yep.
What are you looking for?
The actual like head dude for Fable.
Who cares?
I do.
Sucks.
Yeah, he does. But
Like,
basically,
it's a good game.
it was a good game. It was. We never even got Fable Legends. I want to talk about that a little bit too. I wasn't even like that excited for it, but I was gonna play it anyway, and we didn't even get that.
I remember when they announced Fable Legends, and you like fucking called me. It was like, we gotta play this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, oh,
Because I just wanted more Fable in my life. Like that's it.
Oh no, yeah.
Like,
Have you told your fans what you did? To
All
me
right, so thank you everybody for coming into the podcast, and you know we appreciate. Wait, Neku, did you actually go? You did go, right?
Where?
Yeah.
To the store,
Microsoft, yeah.
remember? To the store. Did you go to the store?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you need to go. All right, so thank you everybody for. Did you talk about Xbox exclusives? Did you talk about them?
Oh yeah, no, I talked about Xbox.
Kiba, did you?
Yes.
Did you have a third topic you wanted to give us?
Oh yeah, I did have a third topic that I wanted to give y'all. We actually just met the 1 hour mark, but the third topic I was gonna throw in there real quick had to do for the Switch. They have found data miners have found like some stuff in the Switch's code that points to potentially a Switch Pro, but that was also kind of like
in
further.
The Switch's code.
Yeah, in the Switch's code.
That's so weird. Why do you put that there?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Why do you put it in the old console? Why?
Don't worry about it.
It seems like that doesn't. I feel like you're wasting data, which wastes space. Like, why is that in there?
I mean,
unless it's like, oh, this must be compatible to play online with the Pro as well, or some shit like that.
I mean, you know. So they found some information in regards to like the chipset, resolution, stuff like that. But people later on looked when they looked through it, they're like, you know, this may not necessarily be like a whole-on Switch Pro. It might be another just a refresh, or actually an official refresh. The previous Switch refresh wasn't a real refresh per se. It wasn't like,
we talked about that last time.
Yeah, I know. I was just going real quick. They had different SKUs, but if you went in there and just asked for Nintendo Switch, you could get either or. Excuse me, unless you specifically say, "Hey, I want one of the new Nintendo Switches with the SKU that ends with the one that ends with these last three," because that's how you can differentiate. You say, "I want the one that ends in XYZ for the SKU. Give me that one, please. Thank you." And all it did was have like slightly better battery life, basically. So, and I think it kind of fixed the old Joy-Con issue too with the connectivity. But basically, it was still the same thing. It wasn't like a whole refresh. They didn't charge different money for it. You know, like when you go to things like a PlayStation Slim or anything like that, or PlayStation 4 Pro, for example, for an actual refresh in the middle of the cycle. So we don't know if it's going to be that, or if it's an actual Pro, or if they're actually doing anything with that information at all, and it's not there for something else entirely. So basically, my question is for you guys, when it comes to a new Switch, and we can keep this pretty brief, it's more like just a quick opinion. When it comes to a new Switch, and me and Keith already talked this last time, you know, Breath of the Wild 2 is supposedly coming this year. It's the 35th anniversary of Legend of Zelda series. It's supposed to be coming out this year. This would be a good time to unleash a new console and try to push sales onto that new console by saying Breath of the Wild 2 best played on new console, insert here. My question is, one, I just had an aneurysm. All right, so I'm sorry. excuse that. My question is, one, do you if a new Switch came out, actually first, Neku, do you have a Switch?
Yes.
All right. If a new Switch came out, it had I'm not saying it's only gonna be like a docked version, like it's only on TV, and it's no longer has a handheld feature. But let's just say it still has a handheld feature. It just has higher resolution and more than likely better frame rate on handheld, and then also the same thing on dock. So handheld might be full on 1080p because I think it's only 900p, or maybe that just depends on the game. Maybe some games just get down to 900p. I forget. By the way, it has a solid 1080p 60 frames per second experience on handheld with a still decent battery life, and then on docked maybe it can go to even like 2K, even if it's not 4K, but it can go to like some weird 2K resolution potentially and still do 60 frames per second, or if not at least a 30, I don't know, whatever the case may be. Maybe you can choose like on a PlayStation 4 Pro on what mode you want to be in. Would that be something that would interest you to purchase?
Personally, as far as that, I'm
all the games will still work on both.
Oh yeah, so all the games will still work on both. Personally, I'm not buying my consoles specifically for like the highest performance and the best resolution and stuff ever. If I wanted that personally, I would do it. I would just
do it on your PC?
Yeah, I would just do it on my PC. The reason for in my personal opinion, the reason for consoles in general is the nature of exclusivity, where you can. It's the exclusivity of the IPs that they have. So Nintendo with its Mario's, its Donkey Kong's, all that. PlayStation with its Final Fantasies and such, and Xbox with Halo and all its other games. Like, that's the reason for it, and how accessible it is versus having a computer. So just because the new Switch has like a higher frame rate, that doesn't matter to me, because I don't need Animal Crossing to be running at 60 frames per second all the time. So
I need to see each grain of sand
on my beaches. Yes.
I don't need Isabel at 480p and all that. So, yeah.
I mean, you said 480p,
but
1080p.
1080p.
Hold up.
At 4K ultra HD.
Ultra HD. Yeah, no, I don't.
That's
I don't
4K.
need that. But that's my take on that. Kabu?
Same. I don't really care about having the greatest console, especially when it's like hundreds of dollars. But usually when it has the same, because like even though I wanted I had the PlayStation 4, even though I wanted the special edition God of War PlayStation 4, I never decided I'm gonna sell mine to get that one. So it's just like I don't really care about it that much, as long as it works, and as long as it isn't dropping frames, which I mean, consoles back in the day, last gen consoles, were dropping. They were at 30 and they were dropping frames and stuff.
Right.
So I would like to have smooth 60 on the console. That'd be really nice.
Or at least never drop below 30 if y'all gonna put me at 30.
Right.
Like, I don't ever want to see me drop below 30. Ghost of Tsushima,
Ever.
It looks great, but sometimes it drops below 30, and I'm like, how dare you do this to me?
Yeah.
That scared me with the Harry Potter trailer when they started doing the frame drops. I'm like, bro, what you doing?
Nah, that 2K21 next gen trailer when he was walking into the arena, I'm like, yo, what is this? Who is excited for this? But
2K, I guess,
but yeah, okay. Me, I don't have a Switch, so I'll buy it. Short version. I had to sell my Switch. I'm already trying to get one back after I get this tax return. Hopefully, potentially, maybe. And now I'm like, should I just wait just in case? I'll be really sorry if I bought a Switch and then they actually put something out. Like, I'd be really upset. So I'm like, I don't know what I want to do now.
Just hold on to it, dog.
Yeah, you may as well just hold on to it.
And one final thing that I actually also remember too.
A Final Fantasy, if you will.
No Final Fantasy. So I don't know if you guys heard, but Bloomberg put out a full-on like history of Microsoft or whatever, and apparently Microsoft, when they first were about to get into the game, proposed a deal to Nintendo.
Yes.
And they
got laughed.
They got laughed at. They literally said that we got laughed out the room. They laughed for an hour. Imagine they literally said like imagine getting laughed at.
Are you serious?
They said
they ridiculed them. Yeah, it was bad.
They said imagine
a roast of Microsoft.
It was a roast.
God
They got
dang.
roasted. It was a Comedy Central roast.
Oh my goodness.
So
They said you American motherfucker. You Bill Gates having ass mother. You not knowing how to name your systems looking mother.
So
dusty ass green box.
oh my goodness, y'all.
Big Mackey and every day.
Okay.
You can't even walk down your stairs looking at him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so what I was going to say was
an X when it's a cross looking at I swear to God.
Not that he brought the X cross debate into it. That's crazy. Actually, I don't know. I think Nintendo might consider that theirs X's. I think only Sony considers theirs cross. I don't know. That would make sense though that they would call it cross too, right? Because it's in Japan, like Sony.
But they use XYBA, so
You're right.
they have a
So
difference.
that doesn't make a difference. Yeah. All right, but back to what I was gonna say. In an alternate world, because from my understanding, Xbox was basically saying, "Hey, keep making your games. We'll make the hardware, and you guys just make games for that hardware, and we'll put that make the hardware." What do you guys think about in a world where that deal did happen, and Nintendo basically just became developers and maybe potentially still publishers of their game? But the hardware was just through Microsoft systems, or maybe Microsoft's publishing the game. I think that might have been more what the deal actually was. So the Nintendo becomes just a development company, and Microsoft develops the hardware that is exclusive on, as well as are publishing the game. So they're paying for the publishing.
There wouldn't be as much innovation, in my opinion. And that's all I'm pretty much about to say about that. Because if you know Nintendo and you look at their consoles, you'd be like, what the fuck is this? It's something new.
I would say, Xbox, while yes, their systems work.
Here we go.
I don't mean like that. Their systems work. Like they are good systems, but it is definitely the same thing with the new coat of paint. It is in an Xbox case, it's a bigger box. So
It's a bigger box.
Except for the S and Series S, which is a smaller box.
Oh yes,
That's for small.
Or sometimes it's a smaller box because big things can come in small packages.
Hey.
Microsoft hit me up with that that PR thing, man. I can do your logos and your mottos for you, man. I think it would cut down on the innovation aspect that Nintendo has. But honestly, I think it would be interesting to see like maybe a could you imagine like the DS with maybe a little bit more power to it? Like able to run games with like just like that were a little like just a handheld system that's a little bit more.
I mean,
beefy.
imagine the Switch already being what people wanted to like having the higher resolution and stuff on launch. But so my this was my take. I actually already talked about this a little bit this morning. Shout out to Sigma Gears and his podcast. Make sure you go listen to his. We talked. He brought that up too, and on one end, at first when I read through it, I was like, nah, because I want the innovation. Nintendo. The reason isn't just that Nintendo's first party IPs are honestly, I feel like legendary is a word that you can't use for their IPs for their first party stuff. It's not even just that they're classics, they're legendary games and stuff like that. But whenever they make their new hardware, they tailor features into the game to utilize the features of that hardware. Like you don't play any first party game on Nintendo on the Wii, it's using the Wii remote like flat out fully, like they're going in on trying to do everything with that. When they made Wii Remote Plus, they going in on it. For the
Yep,
for
I
the
remember that.
for the Wii U first party titles, they're trying to utilize both screens on your TV and the Wii U gamepad every time. They're trying to they really try to do that. And
They
there's
haven't really done it with the Switch, I don't think. Like,
I mean the Joy
I
Cons,
guess.
the Joy Cons, yeah. But they let you because it's handheld too. You can use stuff without the Joy Cons. That's why,
Right.
because you can't move stuff around.
It'd be real wild if they like make you play with the Joy, like they make you play.
Some
like,
do. There's like one game where you have
Also,
to
just granted though, you say that Xbox wasn't really big on it because they didn't really have like features like that, but
Right.
PlayStation did it as well. Like when PlayStation 3 first came out, they like a lot of the first party games for PlayStation 3 had a lot of motion control shit. Was it garbage? Absolutely.
Yes.
Because playing Dark Sector and having to throw the glaive with motion controls, god awful, worst thing in the world. Thank God they re-released it and let you use the analog stick. But a lot, PlayStation definitely has done it before, where their new feature has come into play on the
PlayStation 4, swiping it.
Hey,
the
nope.
pad.
See, that's what I'm about to say. And in PlayStation 4, I got this little light bar and this touchpad that I haven't used since Infamous Second Son. So,
they use it for other things, and that light bar is definitely
barely
changing colors often. Like,
I don't care about changing colors. Like, you remember the light bar? No, the light bar, because on Infamous Second Son, you use the light bar to move around the paintbrush and stuff. Like, actually using the sensor and the light bar to make stuff happen.
The motion control, yeah, that's motion control. It's not the light bar.
But they use the light bar to like show where you're doing. So like in Until Dawn, when it says "don't move," it uses the light bar, even though it's a sensor. But they're using the light bar to show you how that movement looks.
But there's two different things.
My point is, they didn't utilize how they were hyping up the light bar and the touchpad at all.
So you think that dual sense is gonna be forgotten too?
Oh, more than likely.
That one, I actually not sure, because those actually like are features I can see that work for a game. Like even though they've had some issues with the triggers a little bit so far. Apparently, shout out to that. But like the what's the word I'm looking for? The triggers, how they changed the pressure required to push on the triggers. So the match, like if you're pulling on a bowstring, you can't just push it down. You'll actually feel the resistance in the trigger as you're pushing down in moments.
Okay, see that's actually fucking cool.
Yeah, see that can be used more often, and
which
it's
is kind
in
of
a lot of more games than.
Which is kind of what they were doing with the Joy-Cons. With you could feel 3 pieces of ice in the glass instead of 2 pieces of glass.
The thing is, third party developers, a lot of them don't make games where they can utilize something like that.
And that's the other thing. And I think I'm probably wrong, but most exclusives use the touchpad. I don't think God of War did. I know Ghost of Tsushima did. It wasn't anything special, but they used it.
They used it. The worst part is though they didn't have to either. It's like that was. It's like the touchpad is okay at least because it can mostly be used for quick shortcuts. I wish they let you map it yourself, like on PC when you can map stuff.
Yeah,
that would have made it good.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's still there on the 5. So
yeah, I just want to shout out to the big hand game, but my fingers rub up against the touchpad all the fucking time, and I cannot tell you how many times I've bowed in Ghost of Tsushima in the middle of a fight because I'm trying to move the camera around and not get my ass whooped by this guy with a hammer with a cannon in it. But yeah, so
the hammer cannon,
the hammer cannon,
yeah.
Like the gun blade.
Yeah, like the gun blade, but
but a hammer and a cannon.
More potent.
Blow a hole through you.
Yeah, so it's like on one end, I'm like, when it would all come down to how the hardware was made, would Microsoft be mostly putting out the money and increasing the size of the team while letting Nintendo like have still a decent amount of say in what features get into the hardware? Because if that was the case, that might have been a really good merger potentially. That could have been if that was the case. If it was just Microsoft only, like they solely build it with no say from Nintendo, and it would still be the same console we have now, would the game still be
what happened?
Would the game still be just as good? Honestly, probably so. Other than the Wii games, that would be the only thing that would really be different. Wii U games, most of them you could, all the third party ones that weren't like first party, you didn't need to look at both screens. It was honestly just like an extra quote unquote help And even then, when Nintendo used it for the Wii U, they didn't use it amazing except for like the party games. So, excuse me. And then for the Switch, honestly, that would have been the one thing Microsoft might have did, because Microsoft still doesn't have a handheld. The Microsoft probably wishes they had a Switch. They would love the Switch, especially with Game Pass. Imagine Game Pass on your Switch. Microsoft would eat that up. So I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like depending on how the deal would have actually worked out, it could have been great potentially. But I also feel like Nintendo at that time was still, regardless of what was going on, like, RIP, we're the Apple of the situation, because like I said, they're still the Apple of their stuff, so they don't want anybody else being over in charge of. And it's also a Japanese, not even to be racist, but it's a Japanese to American thing. They don't, I doubt they wanted to be underneath an American company, not even like in a racial way, but at least when I go back and I look at any history when it comes to like Japan as a nation.
I mean, it's just nationalist. Like, patriotism is what I meant to say.
Yeah, well, I will say that's definitely a thing. Like, they typically try to stick to their own customs,
which is not a problem. I just want to make sure nobody, since I'm not Japanese, I don't want to be like, what you trying to say? I'm like, but they do. They don't. There's a whole thing of being an outsider in their country. Like, that's a legitimate thing. You are an outsider. They have a name for you.
A lot of they're not particularly inclusive. So
so that's why I was like, that's one thing too. And I almost wonder if that wasn't the case, would it have been less of a laughing situation and more of a, we'll at least listen, but probably still say no? I don't know. So I kind of wonder that too. That's why I wish I knew what the actual, I want to read through the whole report. I didn't get a chance to yet to see if it mentioned what the exact deal was, but I do know the whole hardware would be them, and then software would have been Nintendo. And I've actually heard recent, it was mostly during the Wii U era though, and the Wii U was failing, so everybody was ready to talk about Nintendo. But I know even during the Switch, people were like, I wish Nintendo would just be only developers and not do hardware.
Yeah,
and
I think I remember hearing that.
Yeah, and I've heard that a lot over the years since the Wii. Honestly, I've heard that. And that was when I actually started looking into more gaming news related stuff when I was younger. So it's like, I didn't know that people only want Nintendo development. I thought that was dumb back then. I still think it's dumb now. I would at least have wanted them to be a major part of the hardware if that deal were to come to play. But otherwise, I'd want Nintendo to stay the same as it is now. The extra money from Microsoft would have been nice, though. It would have been nice. It would have been nice. Like that would have been, in a perfect world where those two companies came together, I honestly
Bill Gates
think
would be the richest man. Yes,
and I think Sony would have been getting pooped on. Like, I'll be very honest. If those two came together in a perfect unison,
if either two come together,
if Sony and Microsoft come together, the Nintendo would be fine. That's what I'm saying.
And
if Nintendo gets with either of them,
as bad as a Nintendo combo. They wouldn't be as bad as a Nintendo combo.
All I'm saying is, I feel like Sony would get pooped on, and I think if like Sony and Microsoft got together, Nintendo would be all right. That's just me, because they still have their own first-party IPs. They still have their own innovative slash gimmicks slash novelties, whichever one you feel like calling it, depending on how much you like that new console. They still have people. People still gonna play Zelda. People still gonna play Mario. And still gonna play Pokemon. They be fine enough, in my opinion. But if Nintendo got with either of them, that's where I feel like it would hurt more. I don't say they the company would be bankrupt, but I definitely think it would hurt a lot more than it would hurt Nintendo being the outlier.
That's basically what I said. Anyway.
And yet you said but to what I was saying. I don't understand how that's what you said, but you were just saying. That's all right. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know why you said but to what I was saying if we were agreeing. Yeah.
I didn't know, because you said but first. You said but first.
Hey,
you said but first. You talking about booties?
Butts. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is that not like the good?
Is this how y'all always act? Like,
yes.
I don't know, on a regular basis.
I don't know if I ever want to come back on this.
You a lie. You had fun. Thank you for being here.
I did. I won't lie. I did have fun. This is pretty nice.
But you guys' quick opinions too, for whatever, if you want, either just comment on what I said or what you think about if basically end goal in a perfect unison of those two companies coming together. Would you want that or no?
I don't know, man.
Would you rather stay the big three?
I honestly like the big three, but the only way I would be totally fine with that is if I could be promised that Jet Set Radio Future would be on Switch.
I should have known. I should have known. Kiba, you would you rather keep the big three, or if the merger of the two, and even if it was with Sony, either, which is probably more possible since they're a Japanese company at least, and they were almost going to be together way back in the day until that changed. So technically they were supposed to be together, and there would have only been two. So I actually kind of wonder how that would have worked. Would you like it better if there was the big three as it is now, or would you have liked it if Nintendo and Sony did fully go through with their deal way back in the day, and or if Nintendo did accept a deal from Microsoft?
Oh my goodness, big three. I mean, it would have been interesting to see what they would have came up with, but I think we're good as it is now.
Okay.
To be honest.
All right. Yeah. So because technically Nintendo was the one that quote unquote betrayed Sony way back in the day, and that's why Sony turned up and made their own thing. So it's kind of, I would love to see someone do like I would watch a documentary if they put one on Netflix, because that's where they would put it, on what would have happened if Sony and Nintendo stayed together, as a perspective thing on what they think would have happened, and then also if they did another follow up on if Nintendo did take Microsoft. So I think that'd be a really interesting, like, if they had like actual analysts and people who look in the market and economy and the trends of gaming over time and what could have been. I think that would be a really cool thing to watch, and I'd definitely watch that if they did it. Someone make that, please. Somebody make that, please. Well researched, please. I don't want to research everything. That's why. So let somebody do that, please. Thank you. All right. Any final thoughts? Anything anybody want to say? Anything anybody got?
Apparently, the next Hokage thoughts is about to be lit.
I'm scared.
I don't really have any other final thoughts.
All right.
I can make a recommendation
to
everyone. Play Katana Zero. That game is fucking lit.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have to add.
Fair enough. All right. Everybody who listened to today's podcast, thank you for coming through. Make sure that if you decide to watch the video version of the podcast whenever I decide to upload that on YouTube, make sure you'll be able to hopefully have links to anything that we mentioned here and everything in the description in case you want to just read through it yourself on for anything that's applicable. And make sure you check both me and Kiba out on twitch.tv. I am Ash Redux, that's ASCHREDUX, bringing back the life in gaming. And then we have King Kiba, Kiba.exe, or as he goes by on Twitch, Key-Bladed Assassin, spelled out as it's supposed to be spelled. What'd you say, sir?
Nothing good.
All right, awesome. So, and lastly, we also got a Niku, aka Niku Bellic, aka the Don Diddley Don, aka
nobody calls me that.
AKA
stop lying.
AKA the original Peter Tingler.
It's not. No one calls me that either.
I beg to differ. I call you that now.
Well,
All right.
I hate that.
I hate that. Well, you may hate it,
But you're gonna love it. Or else we're gonna play a game.
Is that cool?
Nah.
All right. Well, we tried. All right, everybody. So thanks again for coming by. Make sure you check us out on Twitch, follow us on Twitters, and check out the YouTube page, blah, 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 blah. And before this new beat kick in, because otherwise I'll stay here listen to it all night, we gonna cut this here. Oh, and also make sure you tune in next week. So you put in the keep it critical, dag nabbit.